Man, we've got a cat stop. We've actually got a pretty packed show. There's a lot of DC stuff to discuss, and I'm also curious as to your opinion on that holiday special trailer. So I've got everything recording. Let's go ahead, hit the intro. Hello everybody, good morning, welcome, or good afternoon by the time this gets up. Welcome to the Daily Cup of Genre here on the Genreverse Podcast Network and YouTube channel. Be sure to check out the big parent website, if you will, lrmonline.com, every day for all entertainment news, needs, and opinions. And of course, subscribe here on the YouTube channel if you're watching us, and if you are listening on your favorite podcast app, be sure to give the channel a follow. Leave reviews, thumbs up, thumbs down. Subscriptions, we're on YouTube, we're trying to hit 1,000 by Christmas, so please do. If you enjoy any of our shows, including any of the Daily COG or Breaking Geek, hit that subscribe button. I'm Kyle, that's Manny, and yeah, big day. How you feeling today though, man? You were ill yesterday.
I've been ill for a couple of days now. I'm good. I'm better. It's just
you hit it well on Monday then.
Yeah, actually I did. I held it together, and then it was like, yeah, this was actually a bad idea. Yeah, no, it's something normal that happens when the weather changes. I don't know why. That's just the way it is.
All right. So where do you want to start? Do you want to talk the holiday special, or do you want to just dig into the big DC stuff first?
Nah, let's just go straight DC. I can if we don't get to the holiday special, it's not a big deal.
Sweet deal. So, ladies and gentlemen, there were some articles that came out yesterday. What was it, Variety, or was it Hollywood Reporter?
You know what? They're both claiming. I think they're both kind of claiming they have about the same time. I'm not gonna say one or the other.
Right. So many used the Hollywood Reporter to write up his bit, and there's a lot of interesting information in this, guys. One, DC Studios now has new leadership, and not just creative leadership. We're talking C-suite, CEO, James Gunn and Peter Safran. Why would those names sound familiar to you? Well, they work together a lot, and James Gunn as well. James Gunn. So that alone is a huge deal. But there's been other things that came through some of this. For example, it's not the DCEU, which I think that was both official and unofficial for years. It's now the DCEU. I don't know, Manny, take us through what we've learned.
Okay, so the biggest part of this, obviously, the skeleton of it, is that James Gunn and Peter Safran are now heads of DC Films, and it's no longer going to be DC. What was it called? Yeah, DC Films. It's now DC Studios, and so Gunn is going to be focusing on the creative side of the business, while Safran's going to be taking care of the business and production side of the business.
Which is basically the same relationship as before.
Yes, both of them are expected to continue to direct and produce projects as well. The biggest part of this, which is a blow to Marvel, is that Gunn is now exclusive to DC. And so anything going forward after Guardians 3, it's not going to happen anymore over at Marvel.
I mean, to be fair, he pretty much said that was going to be his last outing, at least with the Guardians. People held out hope for other projects, but I figured that this would be it for him and Marvel.
I figured they've been treating him better on the other side anyway, especially after that, that whole thing that happened. So some pretty interesting notes about it is that obviously these are probably the two best candidates we've seen to date. James Gunn obviously is very well perceived in the comic book world, movie industry, with his work with reviving Guardians as a household name. Well, not reviving, because they were never a household name.
Never. I know what you meant.
What I meant was reviving Suicide Squad after the miserable editing done in the previous film by David Ayer. and then also what he did with Peacemaker, bringing that character to life and making him another household name. And so just overall, probably the right guy as far as creative side. Money side, maybe not so much, but that's why they have a tag team with Safran, who he's produced some of DC's best profiting movies. Aquaman, which made quite a bit of money, and over $1 billion. He did the Suicide Squad. He did Shazam. He also produced on Peacemaker. So I mean, he's been around. Not to mention, he's also been a big part of the $2 billion Conjuring horror franchise.
Yep.
This guy knows franchises. He knows how to make money. So he's been around. He's had a relationship with Warner Brothers for over a decade now. So as far as a combination between the two, for the moment, it seems like it's been the best match. And they will be reporting directly to CEO Zaslav, as well as working with WB film bosses Michael DeLuca and Pamela Abdi. And according to the report so far, they say the deal is starts for 4 years. So we'll see what they're able to get done. The other thing was it is unknown to this moment where their position is on things like Todd Phillips' Joker 2 and also the Batman world of Matt Reeves, because those seem to be separate projects that are not in the DCEU per se. So it's kind of unknown where they're going to fall at the moment. The only thing that's known for sure is that anything going forward is going to be basically under their umbrella. So it's great. They're also going to be working with other top executives, not going to name them all, but for TV, HBO Max, US network groups, content officers, consumer products, and interactive entertainment. So yeah, it's nice because we finally get that. We finally have that figurehead, the top of the food chain, somebody that's a lot more recognizable. The last few heads of Warner Brothers per se for DC films hasn't been necessarily a name that a lot of people could recognize, and now here we are with someone who we've enjoyed his films as far as comic book related, and another one who's been able to do something that's been very difficult, to be part of a horror franchise that to be honest, they could put out almost anything as far as a film. Not saying that anything has been bad per se, but people are going to trust it if it's part of the Conjuring universe. It's trusted and beloved by fans.
Got a built-in base and support.
So for now, thumbs up, and we'll see what comes of this. I mean, this comes a day after Henry Cavill had announced that he is officially back as Superman, and you know, who knows what kind of projects that they have in mind.
I just realized that holding this as I'm adjusting my mic, this looks just awful on screen.
Oh, so yes, we can go ahead and Photoshop that.
Appreciate that one, guys. Yeah. Don't. So
what do you think?
That. So my thing is, one, these were not on my short list for sure. Not in a bad way. I'm just saying, like, I didn't see this coming a mile away. James Gunn and Safran. The interesting thing is everyone's been saying, you know, DC needs their own Kevin Feige for years now, and this isn't their Kevin Feige. Kevin Feige's the all-in-one, doing the business side of things, doing the creative side of things. Yes, he's got minions and underlings to help him out with that, and he has compartmentalized a little bit, but there's other issues at Marvel right now. So I think I've always been a divide and conquer type person. I think being able to say, you know, someone's good on the creative side, but a little lacking on the business. I'm not saying that Gunn is, but there's someone that's, you know, stronger on the business side. Why not tag team? You know what I'm saying? Of course, money and contracts come into play. But when you're a company that has struggled as much on both ends, creatively and business side of things, as DC has, you might want to see about tightening the belt elsewhere so you can get a couple of good minds up in the corner offices and stuff like that. And so I think this is a really good idea for them. I'm really curious as to how much total freedom they are going to have. I know James Gunn is one that in general has not been afraid to walk, so to speak. He's definitely stood on his own principles, be them similar to yours or not. He's got his own and has stood on those. However, money wise and contract legal wise, I guess, a executive position is a hell of a lot different than a project that you signed up for as a director, a writer, or producer. So I don't know how it will go. Hopefully it all runs good and smooth. They give those two a lot of lateral leeway, and they can help tell the level of stories, not style, level of quality of stories that we got on Marvel's side for phases 1 through 3, especially 2 and 3. But hopefully they can give them that ability to do that. What I really find interesting, Manny, is that most people are not fans of Hamada, Walter Hamada, former DC Films, now the DC Studios president. However, it does seem that he was the one pushing the majority of the more diverse projects. And so I'm hearing it's funny dealing with or not dealing with, reading and hearing people say, oh my god, I'm so happy Zaslav is or so happy that Hamada's gone, but damn it, we're not getting any of the more diverse characters or projects anymore. And it's interesting to both be happy about one person being gone, but then the effects of them being gone and what it has on the direction a company is taking. What do you think comes out of it? Because does Gunn and Safran look at some of those things? Not necessarily, you can't bring back Batgirl or anything like that, to the best of my knowledge. But do they look at some of those projects that were in the pipeline and restart them up, maybe retool them a bit? But I don't know. What do you see in the future, man? What do you think they're going to be doing?
Well, you can see already what they're going to be doing, and that is kind of resetting the foundation of the DCEU. And it starts with bringing back the most important piece of superheroes in general.
Spider-Man's in Marvel.
No, it's actually Superman. Recent polls are still showing that Superman is the most popular superhero anywhere, and that is because he stands for everyone, and Superman can obliterate Spider-Man in a second.
Man, he hit him with kryptonite webbing. Just sit there and poke him in the head and make quips.
That's why he could also be Goku. So, they're really just, we're gonna reset the foundation. We see that with the return of Superman. We see that with them bringing talent that they knew worked before, which is probably why we're getting a little bit more of a Bat flick, and we're getting a little bit more of Gal's Wonder Woman, because those characters worked. Maybe the direction that their leadership was taking them wasn't working, but I mean, under somebody who understands characters, who's able to bring a character like Starro, make him a good villain. That's fun. I mean,
make it work.
If you can make obscure characters work, I'm very curious of what you can do with well-known, established entities, and with somebody kind of pulling the leash like a Safran behind them. I think it's a great partnership because Shazam was great, and we didn't have too many issues with Aquaman, because that's a difficult movie to make anyway.
Yeah.
And also I think that behind all of that, Warner Brothers Discovery really setting the tone as far as we're going to be financially responsible, sets the tone for just overall good leadership. Whether it's executed properly, well, that's still yet to see, but for the moment looks pretty good, and I'm excited to see what comes out of it. But we still got a couple of movies to get through that are really actually more under what Hamada was doing, and being kind of restructured by both of the WB film executives at the moment. So maybe
we
they'll
know.
come in and kind of tweak that to kind of fit what's coming before. Out of all of this, the one thing that we can say almost for certain is, y'all ain't getting your Snyderverse back.
There's still a lot of Snyder characters in there, so I think there will be influences.
Well, I mean, you can't.
So.
You spent many years establishing these characters, so you're gonna pick out what works.
Well,
obviously,
what's his name was trying to shake it up. I mean, I honestly believe that the intent was to have Sasha Calle, Leslie Grace, and Keaton kind of playing the Batman Beyond type deal, her being the lead Bat, and then having Wonder Woman still there. I think that was literally going to be the new Trinity going forward, which is what
Marvel's doing now. But Marvel has already
that's what
Marvel already set that foundation.
Yeah, they actually had characters. Yeah, but I wanted to ask, what projects do you want to see come forward now? Like, pick one movie and one series, your dream projects that Gunn and Safran can greenlight and get a movie and a series.
Okay, movie and a series. As for a movie, I want a Man of Steel 2 with Brainiac.
Okay.
Either that or it'd be very, like, the other thing I'd like to see would be very difficult to do. I don't know if you know the character Mondo. He has a whole world where people fight each other. It's kind of similar to Planet Hulk in a way, but this is a conqueror who really just like to. I don't know. That's another.
That's a deep cut.
Not really. If you know Superman, it's a pretty good character.
Oh, okay.
And then as far as the series go, because Gunn is involved, I would hope would be involved. I'd want to see a Lobo series.
Yeah, Danny said the same thing. A Lobo movie or series as well. That's pretty.
Those
cool.
work.
Danny's over on Breaking Geek.
People like comedy. People like anti-heroes. People like kind of those badass heroes, and we've seen that with Peacemaker that it works. Why not Lobo?
Why not Lobo?
I think that would be a lot of fun. And the other thing I think I would. Well, they already have tie-ins, so I guess that doesn't really work. I just want a better Titan, maybe.
Better Titans.
Also, if James Gunn could please tell Warner Brothers Discovery to just rename the series Pennyworth.
Back to Pennyworth.
Yeah, instead of explaining the entire background of the series in the title, that would be great.
Yeah. Yeah. I would really like to. There's been two projects I've wanted for a while. One dealing with magic, and the other, of course, getting one of the other biggest important factors of the DC comics universe, if you will, lanterns. Like it's freaking time. So, but the question is, which way do I want it to go? Do I want the magic series focusing on Zatanna and company, or do I want a lantern series? And I thought about this this morning because I wanted to ask this particular question, and my fear was that Green Lantern core series would become comic book Law and Order, and I wasn't quite, I wasn't without the court stuff, because apparently people can't write court stuff on TV anymore.
Well, you hire the right people for it.
Yeah, I was just wanting to make a cheap shot at She-Hulk, but so I figured also that the spectacle of space would work better on big screen. So I really want to see a Green Lantern Corps movie that doesn't even feature necessarily Hal or Kyle or John yet. Something set off way out, and then it leads to one of those Earth beings getting the ring. You know what I'm saying? Like,
no, you need to start with either John or Hal.
I say maybe bring them in Act 3 or something.
No,
I think setting up something that is just that far out there would be so interesting, so cool, so fun. Set up the lore and all of that, and that's why you call it Green Lantern Corps and not the Green Lantern. But if they have to go with one, John, I know is the most people's my age pick because of the animated Justice League series, and then I know a lot of people are a big fan of Rayner. I don't read the comic from him, so I don't know, but either one, as long as it's not Hal, I guess. John being preferred.
So the reason why I think it should be Hal is because then you can go into the whole parallax thing, where he becomes kind of a bad guy, and you can make him a super being, and then you can bring in John and the rest of the Corps, or introduce them all, because I mean technically all work together. So my favorite Lantern, of course, is Jessica Cruz, and that is because she has a Central American heritage, and that's the only representation we have, bro. as far as like a mainstream superhero, that's as close as it's gotten so far. So
I think with his big, especially when you bring in the other color lanterns, it becomes very different, and that's why I said I looked at it as a series at first, but then I had those concerns. The magic side works either way. Bringing in,
I think the magic side works better on TV. You just a little bit more time to explain, a little bit more time to simmer ideas.
It can. It works good either way. It can work good on TV, but my big fear with it on the TV side was it becoming a horror series. And why?
That's cool.
But like I've said, and personal thing, for me, horror is not something that you should build up and then hold for weeks at a time. The episodic or the so horror works best like a roller coaster. You go up, you come down, you go up, you come down. Horror series, they are structured differently because there's way more time to tell the story, so the ups and downs can be uncomfortable for me personally, and kind of make it to where it's like, man, I'm not afraid, I'm not sick, I'm bored, get me off this ride. That type of thing is what I run into with horror series, because horror, in my opinion, is best enjoyed in about 90-minute chunks with great intensity. Like a roller coaster, that's just the way I look at it. So but I do think I would go with lanterns on the big screen first, and magic on the small screen. So yeah.
Well, I say The Haunting of Hill House disagrees with you, because it can work.
Personal opinion.
It can work. Well, I'm gonna attack
anyone
your
can
opinion. No, you're wrong,
can
Kyle.
disagree with it.
You're wrong, Kyle. 1% right, Kyle.
No, 99.99. Damn it.
Wrong, of course. No, so I think Swamp Thing, with what they tried to do over at DC Universe, is a good example of it being able to work. That series was destined actually to do great things, except that mid-production, I think it was at episode 7, they killed it. Absolutely killed it. It was supposed to actually lead to some Justice League Dark stuff, and heck, they had built sets for it for seasons, because they were, and it was critically acclaimed already. People were loving it. It was really well done, and the horror elements were all there. It doesn't mean it has to necessarily be classed to be like oh, this is specifically a horror show, but you know, those surprises, those kind of jump scares, you know, the dead, the undead, which is a lot of what they deal with. It has to be present, and it needs to be there in that kind of way that they did it. Yeah, I think I'd love to see some of that, man. Some of these characters really need to come out of the shadows and into the lights of our televisions or LCDs, whatever you want, whatever your TV's made out of.
I want to throw out the one kind of exception. Damn it! I just noticed a foam panel fell off my wall. One exception to my horror thing, and I can hear some people being like, "Oh, but you've said you love Buffy the Vampire Slayer." That's not really a horror series. The goal isn't the scares, and it's not scary, and it's very episodic, which means the roller coaster aspect is still there, because you get the up for the show for the episode, and you come down, and there's not much in general. There were overarching stories, but you don't get a lot of that carryover for something like you do Black Mass, where you're the tension and the ups are carrying across multiple episodes. So things like Supernatural and Buffy are not really horror series, like you mentioned, Haunting of Hill House and stuff like that. So anyways,
well, before we wrap up this whole DC thing and Warner Bros. Discovery, I do want to mention there's a third quarter report from Warner Bros. Discovery. I don't know if you read this, and this is what I was trying to write last night when our WordPress wasn't working correctly. To let you know, I know we've complained so much, and yeah, it sucks to lose programming, to lose series, to lose movies. But Warner Bros. Discovery has been able, according to IndieWire, has been able to write off between $2 and $2.5 billion in 2022's third fiscal quarter.
Yeah, that
is due to its major content purge. And so they're still going to be doing some more of it. And they said there should be done by the end of next year. Actually, no, I apologize, in 2 years. As far as, you know, getting it all together. But that does have that dark side to it, where part of cutting costs has also cost the company 125 jobs from its TV group earlier this month. And so that's about 100 employees from its ad sales group, and another 70 from their HBO Max staff in August. There is going to be a third quarter earnings call with Zaslav next Thursday on November 3rd. So we will be paying attention to that
stuff out.
Find out a few more things, obviously. And I think that's why this announcement was made with Gunn, because they needed to go in there already. They're probably going to have a little bit better of a plan as far as maybe just kind of whatever, just a basic rough draft of what maybe they think they're going to want to do. So as far as getting it together, this is getting it together. You and I have talked about the business side of things. It's
rough.
It is rough, but sometimes
should have been messaged better. But this stuff had to happen.
Definitely should have been messaged a whole lot better.
Not everything had to go down the way that it did, but cuts had to be made, and you make those based on the risk assessment and return on investment potentials. And whether people like it or not, we're not commenting on the ethical, moral, or sociological side. We're commenting only strictly on the business side. So
they're doing something. They're doing something right over there, because they seem to be getting it together.
And you know, but the best laid plans, or whatever it's called, best made plans, they can go awry pretty damn fast. So let's just wish them all the best, because I mean, we want to be entertain us, as some heroin addict once said. Anyways, I do, with a few minutes left, I do want to ask, man, what did you think of the Guardians trailer? Because I found it to be fun. I'll just say that. What'd you think of it? Yeah,
that's all I can really say about it, is that it looks fun. I think that when it comes to a Christmas special, you can have chosen better characters. To have Drax and to have Mantis try to figure out the meaning of Christmas. That's a classic Christmas story. I mean, we've seen that time and time again, and why not do it with these characters? This is 100 times better than what they tried last year with their Christmas, I guess you can say, special, which was Hawkeye. Exactly. See, you're like, what are you talking about? Yeah. So this is gonna be fun, and then to be able to have a Kevin Bacon or somebody in there, like
dude,
a random person.
That's when I was hooked.
Yeah, I think it's hilarious. So well done, and also they're bringing back Michael Rooker for whatever reason for this. So it will be interesting to hold on. My cat's doing things again.
Don't chew on that cord, cat.
No, he's actually, this cord for this camera that I got is a lot thicker too, and I've also placed it differently, which is nice. But cool. he apparently likes me, so ugh.
I had always wondered, like, what story do you tell, and there was only one of like two ways that I could see it going, and that was either them trying to recreate Christmas for for Star-Lord, Chris Pratt, for Peter Quill for Star-Lord, somewhere out there in the cosmos, or you have them being called back to Earth for one reason or another during Christmas time, and you do kind of what we are getting with the Guardians being exposed to a very, very specific Earth holiday, but I didn't think about doing the whole kind of mixing those two together, both trying to provide Star-Lord with Christmas elsewhere while also going to Earth and experiencing it. And what really sold it to me, though, man, was the whole Kevin Bacon thing, and bravo guys for making me smile. I can't say in Feige we trust these days, but I'm fairly certain I can say in Gunn I trust mostly.
Yeah. So we didn't get to talk yesterday, so I didn't get to. And I honestly, actually, I should seen it, but I haven't seen your reaction. I get tired of looking at your face sometimes.
I would too.
I'm just kidding.
I do get tired of looking.
The Ant-Man and the Wasp trailer dropped on what, Monday?
Yeah.
Monday?
Yeah. I hold on, I'm marking time stamps. One super duper great job on costumes as usual, Marvel, for the most part. I can't think of a no, it didn't.
Yeah, it did.
It looked fine.
Have you seen the pictures that compare to each other? They're hilarious. I cannot unsee it.
Are you talking like the CGI like setting?
Yeah, and everything.
Yeah, I'm just commenting on costumes. That's it. Kang's costume looks great.
Yes, it does.
The blue mask is a great using light and through the helmet. A great way to bring us a blue Kang. His Major still has a presence on screen. I unfortunately have been spoiled for a lot of this movie. Fairly certain that those spoilers are true, especially after seeing the trailer. So I've got my own thoughts now on the CGI. Yes, I noticed that one, it looks like they are using the volume in some scenes because of lighting. Looks more the lighting matches the background. That being said, yeah, it sticks out. They made the quantum realm darker, which helps hide some of that, and we'll really have to see it on big screen or see more brighter shots to kind of see how much it melds together. But yeah, everything has been rough visually, and the more moving pieces you've got, even on something like Stagecraft, the volume, it still hurts. So the fact that all of the quantum realm is writhing and oozing and stuff like that really makes it hard to have a really good solid background, and I'm glad they at least have a lot more darker colors to help kind of mute that. What's going to really suck is anytime they had reshoots, pickup shoots that they couldn't use the volume, it's going to mess with the lighting so bad. So I hope they haven't had to do that a lot. Yeah, I story wise, man, I'm down. I've loved both Ant-Man films. I like Paul Rudd in Civil War. I like him in Endgame. Really like him in Endgame. It's hilarious. So I've been excited to see this even before Phase 4 really just ruined Marvel for us. I was still excited for a third Ant-Man movie. So yeah, what do you think overall besides the graphics?
So I honestly I loved the Ant-Man films, and this is coming from a person who thought the first Ant-Man was going to be garbage, because at the time I did not like Paul Rudd. I'm not kidding. I did not, and that's without seeing role models, by the way.
Oh wow.
He is
a jerk in that movie.
Scott Lang's one of my favorite characters, if not my favorite character in the MCU, for various reasons, and their films have always been fun, and he's been a great part overall of the MCU, kind of like you're saying. As far as this film, after seeing Jonathan Majors and what he's going to be a beast in Creed 3,
yeah,
I think I was kind of like, man, the Avengers stand. So it's funny. It's not a trailer for that film. We're just seeing his because when we saw him in Loki, he was a little bit playful and whatever and whatnot. And after seeing him in Creed 3, I was like, oh my god, he's gonna kill the Avengers.
I like the scars and stuff. Like, this is the Conqueror. You know, this is Kang the Conqueror.
Yeah. With that said, though, and this is kind of maybe overreacting as far as the overall scope of things, because we still don't necessarily know it all. I don't really care if Kang kills these group of Avengers. Like,
you hold your tongue.
I don't.
No one needs Scott dying.
Okay, not Scott. Hold on, calm down. This new team, whatever it's gonna be, I don't have a connection to it.
Okay, I got it. I see what you mean. The young Avengers or the new Avengers.
If they overall lose, I don't like. I'm not like Infinity Saga, where I am like just
in shock as people are
hyped,
dusted.
And and like very excited about like, we're not getting a Spider-Man moment. we're not getting a Tony Stark.
You mean it wouldn't just break your heart for Kang to wipe Kate Bishop out of history? Because I'm guessing that's going to be some sort of threat where he erases timelines or something where they exist. It wouldn't just wrench your soul like seeing Black Panther fade away if it happens to Jen Walters. I mean, come on, Manny, you heartless sexist pig.
It's all of the characters right now. I like, as much as I like Shang-Chi, like, he's like, okay, any of the Eternals. What I mean,
God, I wish Thanos could come back and snap that shit from existence.
So I just I'm just and I know I sound like a lot of there's a lot of people out there kind of saying the same thing. I don't really feel the connection to this to the multiverse saga.
No,
I mean,
yeah.
So unless you're gonna and
they managed to break my connections to things like Doctor Strange and Thor.
Yeah. Yeah, so I'm sorry, I just ruined it for you, didn't I? As far as this movie though, this is gonna be cool. It's gonna be really cool. I'm very curious to see if all of those like quantum realm sets are gonna like take me out of it at some points.
Yeah, we'll see. I also know one thing though. Theaters are better at hiding bad CGI as well, depending on the screen and projecting technology. Our computer monitors, I've got a 144 hertz gaming monitor, and then I think this thing does 120 for content creation, and things will look differently. Even going down and not picking a 60 FPS, things will look differently on, you know, higher end screens than they will in theater screens, even higher end theater screens. So that's why I always, you know, whenever I mention CGI in a trailer for a movie, I'll talk about it after having seen the movie, because it is different when you watch it when you're watching a streaming series trailer or streaming movie trailer on your monitor. That's what it's going to look like on TV. So give or take some bit rate changes between YouTube and whatever streaming service. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. I think that's it, guys. I think we're good. Check out the website lrmonline.com for the majority of the stories that we talk about on this show, as well as more reviews, celebrity interviews, leaks, rumors. All the podcasts can also be accessed there as they get their write-ups. And speaking of podcasts, the Genreverse Podcast Network's available on all the popular podcast apps like Spotify and Apple. AVR doing Chainsaw Man and Spy Family. Daily Cog and Breaking Geek, we cover everything. Andor's being done on the Cantina, and Marvel Multiverse Mayhem will be covering news, leaks, and stuff like that up until Wakanda Forever. All of the podcasts go up here on the YouTube channel. Please do hit the red subscribe button. Thanks to all 840 that I can see as of this video. Really do appreciate it. There's also trailer reactions, genre shot trailer reactions, Anime-Versal Reviews' reactions, AVR Squared reacting to 4 different anime this season, so be sure to subscribe. Check all of that out. More fun stuff coming in the future. I'm at that Kyle Malone on Twitter if you want to follow me and see a hell of a lot more hot takes. Be brave. Manny, where can people find you at?
You can find me on Twitter at Manny Gomez Media, and on Instagram at riddlemeus_510. With that said, also make sure to follow me tonight at 10 o'clock Pacific time. I will have my reaction to the next Marvel film, Wakanda Forever.
There you guys go. All right, we might see you tomorrow. Manny has to be like doing that thing, so we might be able to record tomorrow, might not, but we'll hopefully see you at least by Friday. Guys.